Now that we're exploring exponential functions, it's a good time for us to review our properties of exponents. Look this over. This should feel like a review from Algebra 1. So remember, when you're looking through this table, m and n are integers, and all denominators and bases are non-zero. So let's try these quick examples here. Use the properties of exponents to simplify each expression. So if I'm looking at part A here, the first thing I'm going to do is multiply my coefficients. 2 times a negative makes -2. Now, if I multiply my x's, x to the -2 times x to the 4th, I add those exponents. -2 plus 4 is 2. And then I need to focus on my y's. Y to the 3rd times y is y to the 4th. If I focus in on part B, this entire quantity in here is being raised to the 0 power. I remember anything raised to the 0 power is 1. It does not matter what is being raised to that power. Now, if I look at part C, the first thing I'm going to do is this power on the outside of my parentheses. What that makes me have is -5 to the 3rd times z to the 3rd, and that's still being multiplied by z squared. So now I can simplify each one of those. First, if I simplify -5 to the 3rd, that's going to be -125. And now if I multiply z to the 3rd times z squared, that becomes z to the 5th power if I add my exponents. Now in part D, remember there's a few ways you can start this. You might do this problem differently than the order I'm about to do it. But for me, the first thing I notice is that inside my parentheses, I have x to the 4th over x squared. And I know I can simplify that. So the 3 I'm not focusing on, and the y squared I'm not focusing on, and the squared I'm not. However, I know that x to the 4th over x squared, I subtract my exponents and I get x squared. Now what I can do is focus in on this outer exponent. I'm going to raise everything inside those parentheses to that outer exponent. So that becomes 3 squared. And now I have x to what power? When I raise a power to a power, I multiply. So that's x to the 4th. Same thing in my denominator. If I have y squared squared, that becomes y to the 4th as well. And now I simplify more. 3 squared is 9. X to the 4th over y to the 4th. So this first video should feel like a review from Algebra 1, basic properties of exponents. Let's get into some more examples.